Welcome, and here we're looking at the bonds, which we were looking at yesterday as well. And yesterday we were looking at, we're looking at this being a five-wave structure to the downside, and we were looking for an A and a B and a C pulling back up to the 50 or the 61.8 retracement level, and that seemed to have come in quite nicely. So we should be looking at another five-wave structure down for a larger, basically an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. Now, the situation with this, if normally with the bonds and the stocks and whatnot, this would be doing the opposite to the stock. So this moving down through here would be supportive for stock. But our problem is that with stock, with the S&P 500 and so forth, is that we are looking for a top. So in our count, we do have a top in place, but this is obviously supporting the stock market in that sense. So I just thought I'd put that sort of that sort of situation on the table first. Looking at the S&P 500 here, we know that over the last week, with most of the indices, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, it's been a very short trading range. So on a weekly basis, this would be quite short. In fact, we could probably just have a look at that here. Yes, we can see that here. I mean, it's Thursday today, still 2 more days of trading, but you can see that these were strong here on the weekly, and this is very low here. So, we know that it's struggling at this high here, and we're looking for a correction now. So we've been doing our best to count the 5 waves up here, and they do seem to be sort of completing. So just on the 4-hour chart here and counting the 5 waves, we're looking at this as wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. So as we're looking yesterday, we're going to be looking at this situation here again. But and there is like a 5-wave structure finishing here, but we would need this low here to be taken out here, that low of 1833, so to speak. That low would have to be taken out. If that's done, then we can look at a move down for wave 2. This is the 50 and the 61.8 retracement level. Will it come this far down? I don't know. What we do need to do is we need to count the structure as it comes down. First of all, we would be looking for if I can just move this here, this would be the actual structure we're looking for. We're actually looking for an A and a B and a C, and internally that would be 5 waves for the first wave here, and then an A and a B and a C moving back up 50-60%, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the size of this can stretch like all the way down to 1780, or it may only be short down to the 40% mark area, so anywhere between 40 and 60 odd percent. So it's quite a range. So in that case, we're better off counting the actual structure. Once that's done, we'll be looking for a nice move to the upside in a wave 3, which should be technically longer than this run here. So we should get a really nice trend coming up. The problem though, if we're trading stock, for instance, this move down through here can take out a lot of our stops. So we have a, once we can sort of confirm this, and we were talking about it yesterday with stock to, in the ASX section anyway, is to take some profit, to yesterday, today, whatever, to lock it in. There's some stocks that have got big wave structures that can continue to the upside, like Woolworths, so we'll hold through those corrective phases. But so just drilling in here and having a look at from 4 to 5 here, this is what we've got so far. From wave 4 here, we've got 1, 2, and then we're looking up for 3 here. And in the third wave, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it does count okay. And then we've got wave 4 here, which is an A and a B and a C. A bit complicated, but that's what wave 4 does. Especially when wave 2 is simple, then the guideline of alternation allows wave 4 to be complicated. And that's the same with just corrections as well. A, B, C corrections and triangles. You'll have one simple, then the next one will be complex. The next one will be either more complex or simple again. So from wave 4 here, we're looking for a move up. I was looking for something a bit bigger. I was looking for something like this size here, or at least this. But this is suffice because it takes out the top of wave 3 here. You know, I could be in a situation where we get this though. So this move up here could be wave 1. This can be wave 2 here, 3, 4, and 5. That's possible to finish like that. So I can't confirm that until this low gets taken out. If this low gets taken out here, then we know we've got our first degree of confirmation coming in. But just drilling into this a little bit further through here, if we do have a top in play, it will look like this, down for 1, back for 2 here, 3, 4, and 5. So once again, this low here being taken out confirms that that is the 5th wave at that stage. So that's what we're looking for. So just drilling in here a little bit further into the 5-minute chart, we're looking at possibility of this being 1, 2 to here, 3 to here, 4 to here, and 5 to here. If that's the case, then we'd be looking at this. This is a 61.8 retracement level, spot on here. But at the same time, to me, this looks like 5 waves up here and possible 3 waves back. So until that low there gets taken out, we just don't have any confirmation at that point. But if that does occur, then we can put the stop above here and you can ride that down somewhat. Look, the other market's the same. Here's the Dow Jones. Exactly the same story here as well. So let's get this in here. I'm still setting up all these templates because I had to redo them all. So I'm just going to save that one there for size. Once again, short that, stop up here if that's going to be the case. This is the same for the DAX as well. This is just a 1-hour chart, just showing that the 4th wave here and the 5th wave up here in the same situation here. However, this one looks a little bit more like 5 waves down here in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This does look like 5 here, so we may get an A and a B and a C here before we see further downside. But anyway, short that low here as such, and just keep the stop, you know, up here, and then as it moves down further, once the 9.6 becomes the retested resistance, then bring the stop down to here and so forth. You know, because if you don't, you know, the stop is a wide safety thing. If you don't want to put the stop way away, then you may as well like just take the money at the next closest largest number. That way you'll get the maximum sort of benefit from it, rather than sort of putting the stop sort of in the middle here somewhere. You always get trapped like that. The FTSE, just an hour chart here. It's the same top, same pattern. Use the robo, sell new lows, keep the stop above here. We're trading against the trend. So most of the losing trades are on turns of trend. So just, you know, the risk is high. So keep the position sizing smaller. And that runs through into the ASX as well. So we've been counting 5 waves up here as well. From wave 4, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're counting 5 waves up through here. And if I was going to count that, it would be the 1, the 2, the 5 waves here for the 3rd, the A, B, C for the 4th, and the 5th here. That's the best I can do there. You know, if you're going to short this, sell new lows, wait for the 5-4 to become a retested resistance. What is retested resistance? Well, market normally comes down to a level, bounces, goes through, comes back and tests it. And if you've got volume, then that retest needs to be on lower volume. And then you can simply take that low out here. You can sell all through here once you understand, you know, what's going on. The SPY here, just on the daily chart here, we can see that the closing price is below the opening price here. That's a sign of weakness at that point there. Normally look for a switch to sell on the turn of a market, because you either get the switch or you get a straight reversal like this. So you might just get a straight reversal here. So you could still just sell that new low, but keep it out of way there. I'll just have a look on this smaller version here. It's pretty much the same pattern as the other ones as well. I can't get it. I can see this is 1 and 2, but I don't know if this is all of 3. This is 4 and so forth. But you know, you need to keep the stop above here. Keep the position size small. The market is, you know, we've got those figures from China coming out today as well at 12:45. So they're just the HSBC figures. So we'll see the official figures probably follow later next week as well. So they'll be important. But yeah. Anyway, that's it for that. Okay. Cheers.